Studt. It's not Studt. It's not slut. It's not smut. It's not stud. It's not studded. It's Studt.
Amy Studt burst onto the music scene in the early 2000s with her angsty teen pop rock and disappeared as quickly as she arrived. So what happened? With fans still appreciating her music to this day, let's take a look at Amy's debut album False Smiles and what happened in the years following its release. Amy Studt was born in London in 1986, but would grow up in Bournemouth, Dorset. As part of a musical family, with her father a violinist and conductor and her mother a pianist, Amy would begin writing music at the age of 6, teaching herself piano, guitar and oboe. Amy struggled with her education, attending 6 different schools before eventually dropping out entirely at the age of 15 to pursue her love of music. Originally, her father suggested she record some demos in a local studio, with the finished CDs being handed out to various friends, with one making its way to Simon Fuller, manager of Annie Lennox, the Spice Girls and Amy Winehouse among others, who signed her to both his 19 management and to Sony BMG Publishing. In 2001, at the age of 15, Amy would be signed to both Polydor and Universal Records and begin work on her debut solo album, working alongside established writers and producers such as Karen Poole, Rob Davis, David Erickson, Gary Barlow, Elliot Kennedy and Kathy Dennis. Amy would suffer with depression as well as being bullied during her teenage years, with these themes weaving their way into the music.
When I was 14, I'd written a load of songs, and my friends, because they used to come and listen to me play in the music room, they all were like, could I get some of your stuff on tape or CD? So I was like, well, alright, go on then. And there was a really not that great studio down quite near where we lived, and so I went down there and literally did 12 tracks, 12 different tracks, 6 tracks on 2 different CDs, and literally one take through just playing and singing my songs, very rough. And it's a bit sketchy, but it was enough, you know. And I gave them out to friends, and that was the end of it for me. And my friends were sort of passing it around and recording it. And somebody's older sister, called Catchy Drummond, works for Simon Fuller. And it got passed on to her on her wedding day, of all days. And her dad was like, come on, you've got to listen to this, you've got to listen to this on her wedding day. And she was like, come on, Dad, it's our wedding day. You know, it's like, you've got to listen to this. Anyway, so she listened to it, and she really liked it. And so it was really to her that I'm grateful, because she just said, look, Simon, you've got to listen to this.
If you don't know who Simon Fuller is, was the manager of the Spice Girls.
Yes.
What was the first Pop Idol? That's it. And you know, even Annie Lennox and Amy Winehouse, and so so that's the guy that heard it, and it just happened that at the time he was looking for a character for a TV show called I Dream, who was called Amy, from the south of England, which is where I was brought up, by the sea on the south of England, who wrote her own songs, who was kind of grungy and gothy, which I was. And that was the character he was searching for. So we got a random phone call out of the blue from this guy, Simon Fuller, which we thought was a joke. We thought, who is this? This isn't real. Like, you know. And he was like, hey, I really like the songs. Could Amy maybe write a song for the TV program I Dream? So I wrote this song called I Dream. And when he heard that, he was like, okay, I really want to meet Amy. So I went up to London, and suddenly I was like, you know, I mean, I had my hair in my face and a hoodie up, and I was incredibly intimidated, because suddenly I was in this glitzy, shiny office building where all the women were like gorgeous but like razor sharp minded, and I go into this room and meet this guy who to me is ancient because I'm a child basically. Whereas he's probably like my age now. And you know, there's awards everywhere, and he's talking to me about my music, and I'm like, you know, barely able string a sentence together. He must have liked me, but he was like, hey, you know, do you want to go into the studio with this guy that we're working with called Yak Bondi and do some writing and see what you come up with? And I was like, yeah, that sounds great. I'll do it. So I did the studio session with the writing session with Yak, and we wrote 2 songs. One was called Kick for Me, and the other song was called Just a Little Girl. I was just turning 14, so I was like 13, just about to turn 14. When Simon heard Just a Little Girl, he was like, right, I want to sign Amy. And so suddenly, and these are the days when deals were big advances. Still, this is way before streaming, way before anything like that. So I got offered a 7-album deal. With a publishing deal with Sony BMG. I think a year later, there was like an additional recording deal with Polydor Universal. So overnight, my life changed. It was 6 different schools before I was 15, just because I was kind of like quite a troubled wild child. Lots of drug taking, lots of bad behavior, and lots of difficulties with mental health, which I didn't know at the time was because I was bipolar. So that wasn't discovered until my 20s. So when I was young, I was just a wild child. Suddenly my life kind of changed overnight, and I walked out of the last school that I was in. I just walked out the doors and I said I wasn't going to ever go back to that school. And I think because I didn't really fit into the mold of schooling systems, my parents kind of agreed to it. And so I went to a tutoring college just to finish my GCSEs. And that was like 2-3 days a week. And then the rest of the week and the weekend, I would travel up to London and stay with a good friend of mine, Catri Drummond, who had been the woman who had started the company with Simon Fuller.
Okay.
And I worked with, and I wrote with co-writers and got my experiences of writing in a studio environment. And that's how the album was made. And then in about 2002, my first single came out, which was Just a Little Girl.
Happy now, I wonder, are you happy now? Now that you've had me and I'm on my own, all alone, are you happy now? When I was 9, when I was playing chopsticks, which is the only thing I ever knew to play, because I never had lessons or anything like that. And my dad came in and told me to sing, you know, the overtune to it, sing it, and then write lyrics to it. And after I did that, and I kind of found new chords and wrote lyrics and melodies to it. It just went from there. Walking along down these streets again. That's about it. That was the first thing I wrote. And cut. 'Cause I'm just a little girl, you see. But there's a hell of a lot more to me.
Got it. Well done.
I'd like to be respected as an artist. I'm me, and this is how I dress normally. It's not that I've been, you know, made in a certain way, like some kind of Barbie doll. This is just how I am. I would really like people to recognise that.
Look what you've done to me.
Turning.
Apart from piano, I play the oboe. I can read oboe music because it's just one line. But when it's two different things, and I have to note where they are at the same time, and then also where they are on the key. I find it really confusing. That's a dyslexic problem. After I'd written a few songs, because my dad works in studios quite a lot, he said, oh, well, why don't we take you to a studio? So we did. And I recorded 6 tracks, and I gave them out to my friends, and so it got passed on to Simon. I had an interview with him, and we seemed to get on really well, so we started from there. I think that was about a year and a half ago. No, I was 14. I'm constantly working at the moment. I go to a college on Tuesday and Wednesday. I have Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday to work. Eat your heart out, mate, son. Sad state, definitely. definitely, because it's a very, very powerful emotion, and it's complicated that you keep thinking, there's so many things go through your head. Rather, if you're happy, it's just, I'm happy, you know, nothing to worry about, nothing to think about. But when you're sad, you think about so many different things, and there's so many amazing lyrics that can come out of that, of putting them to songs. I think it's the best way to write. Constantly finding ways to fill the empty space, but still it seems that nothing touches you anymore, and you're not really sure which way to turn. If you feel the sadness sweep you off your feet, don't hold in the things that you feel. Don't be ashamed of who you are. Don't be afraid to stand your ground, 'cause at the end of the day, you're one step closer to finding your way. And although you might think you're out of time, you're gonna be fine. You should know that things aren't always as they seem, so why still swim in the depths of the tide that's pulling you in? The slow songs are always my most intimate and personal thoughts. One thing saying to someone how you feel, but if you put it with music, it means a lot more.
Okay, here I am on my set. I'm with the Gorgeous Lee, as he's just slipped me a tenner in my pocket to say that. And look, scope around, see? Let's give a little, ooh, look, pretty people, ooh. And so on. And okay, we're ready to shoot. The beach shot. We're just about to do a very sensual scene. So, okay. No peeking, it's X-rated.
Camera, run it, action.
Oh my god, I'm going to have one hell of a shower.
The only music I ever listened to when I was younger was the Jackson 5, A, B, C, easy as well, and Celine Dion. Never any pressure. My parents never pressurized me. But in the evening time, I would just sing anyway, not because I had to practice or anything. It would just be a fun family thing. Sounds really sad. Cookies and tea, sing around the piano.
You can't chew gum and sing karaoke. Give me that gum.
Nice image for you all there. By age 11, my dad and my brother sort of forced Led Zeppelin and Jimi Hendrix on me, so well, they forced it on me, but I liked it.
It'll be really like this.
This was slow motion, I had to do it in.
That's sweet.
That's my heel. Ooh, I love my booties.
When we finally got cable, it was the most exciting moment of my life. I was like, I have music channels, you know. And so I sort of sit there glued to the music channels for hours. I still do. And just take in the facial expressions and the movements of the body, what I find visually arresting or visually attractive. You take it in. I like things that shock me.
Because I'm not just a little girl, you see. I'm a woman. Something like that.
I did go through quite a big stage of just not wanting to do anything that anyone wanted me to do. I think it was just mainly the lead up to why I'm singing this song. We discussed the idea, so it wasn't just thrown in front. Sophie put in some of her idea that we just basically dipped in, both of us, and sorted out what we were going to do. The perception of how people see kids is the little doll, but then kind of a bit of an edge to it, just kind of a bit of freaky sort of little doll. Piano idea, the sort of, sometimes I feel you're not listening, changing it into kind of an adult party, and sort of, you know, turning around and thinking, sometimes I feel you're not listening, and they're really not listening. And then she gets a bit mental. Also the beach scenes with the boy, which was a bit sort of very nice and pretty. It was supposed to be that he's sort of saying, oh, you're just a little girl, you're such a kid, blah, blah, blah. And then your reaction to that is to wrestle him to the floor, as you do. I'm really happy with how it turned out. It was wicked, wicked fun, yeah.
On the 1st of July 2002, Amy's debut single, Just a Little Girl, would be released. Written by Amy alongside Yak Bondi, the single received positive reviews from music critics and would peak inside the UK top 20 at number 14.
Sometimes I feel you don't understand, but I think I got the answer already. Know what you're gonna say, 'cause I'm just a little girl, you see, but there's a hell of a lot more to me. Don't ever underestimate what I can do. Don't ever tell me how I'm meant to be. You say I'm just a little girl, just a little girl. How can I compare? What do I know? What have I got to share? But there's nothing in this world, nothing in this world that could hold me down. Can't you hear me? Don't you understand that I wanna be myself, wanna be the girl, wanna be the one that you can rely on? How I wished you could see all there is of me, how I long to hear that you take me for who I am. 'Cause I'm just a little girl, you see, but there's a hell of a lot more to me. Don't ever underestimate what I can do. Don't ever tell me how I'm meant to be. Sometimes I feel you're not listening.
Following the single's release, Amy would seemingly disappear with no follow-up single or album being announced.
Cause I'm just a little girl, you see, but there's a hell of a lot more to me. Don't ever underestimate what I can do. Don't ever tell me how I'm meant to be.
It would be almost a year later, on the 9th of June 2003, before she released another single in the form of the bratty pop track Misfit. A co-write alongside Karen Paul and David Erickson, the track saw greater success than her debut single, just missing the UK top 5 where it peaked at number 6. Internationally, Misfit reached number 11 in the Netherlands, number 17 in Ireland, number 32 in Sweden and number 48 in Australia.
What's the use? What's the point? You got the wrong girl. Oh, so you can do what you're doing down there. 'Cause I'll be flying higher. Waste your own time, I don't care. Anything you can do, I can do better. All you girls, you look up if you had one. Why still here? Well, you're superficial, I'm a misfit. But baby, that's okay. All you girls, when you look into the mirror, tell me how do you appear? Well, you're superficial, I'm a misfit. You're superficial, I'm a misfit. But that's okay. So you got your little groups and gangs, you got your VIP, your member only things, your happy couples and your VC crew, and if you get in their way, they got 10 on you. Well, I don't wanna be in that game, don't wanna follow the leader. No way. What's the use? What's the point? You got the wrong girl. Oh, so you can do what you're doing down there. 'Cause I'll be flying higher. Waste your own time, I don't care. Anything you can do, I can do better.
Following the success of Misfit, Amy's debut album would see its official release on the 30th of June 2003. Full Smiles saw positive reviews from music critics, with The Guardian awarding it 4 out of 5 stars. The album would enter the UK Top 40 at number 24.
So what if I don't? Under the Thumb was kind of written about a guy who I was quite interested at the time in, and we were having a phone conversation at one point, and I said something, I think, because I'm a bit of a, I think I said something jokingly insulting, as I do, and he went quiet and then said, "I can't believe you just said that," and I thought, oh my God, I've really hurt his feelings. And I went, "I'm so sorry," like that, and he turned around and he just went, "Under the thumb," like that to me, and I was so angry. I was like, "How dare you?" You know, and I was sort of storming into the studio. I was like, "Right, I'm gonna sing it. I'm gonna write this song about how I think it's gonna turn out and how I'm gonna end it." You know. So yeah, that was written about that. We sat down, me and David Eriksson and Karen Poole from Alicia's Attic, and we wrote it in Norway, in Oslo. And I love writing with them because they're really lovely people. And Karen is hilarious, and she's totally on my wavelength. And I sat down and explained every little intricate detail of how things had gone with this person, and we literally just put it into lyrics, basically, and worked it through.
Under the Thumb was issued as the official third single from the album on the 29th of September 2003. Another co-write alongside Karen Poole and David Eriksson, the single would reach number 10 on the UK singles chart and number 36 in Ireland.
You said, hey, don't worry, you're a fit woman, that's all that counts. And yes, I ignored all the usual signs.
Under the Thumb would become Amy's second top 10 and third top 20 single, which also helped push the album to a new peak of number 18.
Ain't it funny how I'm finding out now? It makes me laugh how I let you have your way, and you say I got it now, so I'm asking you, babe. Did I ever even cross your mind? 'Cause it's not a game of two, it's under the thumb. I think you took me for a ride, but I didn't see, I didn't even realize, boy, that we were playing games of
Full Smiles would be re-released at the beginning of 2004, adding one new track, a cover of the Sheryl Crow classic All I Wanna Do, on request of Sheryl Crow herself, who sang backing vocals. Released on the 12th of January 2004, the single peaked at number 21 in the UK and number 25 in Ireland. Subsequently, Amy was dropped from her record label Polydor, with them apparently unhappy with the overall album sales.
Drinking beer at noon on Tuesday in a bar that faces a giant car wash. And the good people of the world are washing their cars on their lunch breaks, hosing and scrubbing as best they can, skirts and suits. They drive their shiny Lexus and Buicks back to the phone company and the record store too. But they're nothing like Bill and me, 'cause all I wanna do is have some fun. I got a feeling I'm not the only one. All I wanna do is have some fun. I got a feeling I'm not the only one. All I wanna do is have some fun until the sun comes up over Santa Monica Boulevard. I like my caffeine buzz early in the morning, and Bill likes to peel the labels from his bottles of bud. He shreds them on the bar, then lights every match in an oversized pack, letting each one burn down to his thick fingers before blowing and cursing them out. Watching the bottles of bud as they spin on the floor. A happy couple enters the bar, dangerously close to one another. The bartender looks up from his one-ads, but all I wanna do is have some fun. I got a feeling I'm not the only one. All I wanna do is have some fun. I got a feeling I'm not the only one. All I wanna do is have some fun until the sun comes up over Santa Monica Boulevard. My paper made rap.
In early 2006, after some time away from the public eye, Amy signed to the indie label 19 Entertainment. She also toured with Razorlight under the alias Jane Wales, stating how she was quite frightened of getting on stage and people having preconceived ideas of what she was about. She would start work on a new album with the intention of it being very different to her debut, stating she wanted it to ignore any memories of her mid-teens pop phase. Amy worked on the title song of her upcoming album with Guy Sigsworth. Other collaborators included Egg White and Peter John Vitesse.
You spent 4 years out. What did you do in those last 4 years?
I took a bit of time out and sort of decided that I definitely wanted to do it again, and then and yeah, I just did a bit of travelling, got back to normal life, and then just wrote this album.
To prepare for your comeback, I hear you went undercover. You went to some kind of little gigs and you pretended to be someone else. What did the audience think of that when they found out it was actually you? Why did you do that?
I had a really bad stage fright from then. You showed some footage of me doing Top of the Pops ages ago, which is awful. It's really painful to watch. But I had terrible stage fright, so I just wanted people to hear me without having made any previous judgments and just to see what they thought of the music. And it went down really well. So yeah.
You became famous at such a young age. Do you think it was, was it quite difficult dealing with that kind of fame?
I think fame at any age is difficult, but yeah, I think it was particularly difficult when you're growing up. But I don't regret it at all. I'm lucky to have it.
Now, talking about sort of like all the songs that you've written, that you've sung, are they about your life? Like Misfit, was that about you growing up?
Yeah, Misfit was about when I was at school and I didn't get on with the girls at school, and
that happens to lots of us.
I was a bit of a misfit, and I think I've always have been just a bit of a misfit. So yeah, no, I write about my own life or just whatever I've come into contact with, really.
And looking at the new album, you've got a track there called Furniture.
Yeah.
It's about a woman being an ornament to a man. Is that what you think?
No. It's just a particular relationship I was in at the time where I just felt like I was
that's what I've become. I allowed myself to become. So.
Well, My Paper Made Men, the album, is out in a few weeks. Good luck with that. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Furniture was co-written by Amy alongside Andrew Crutwell-Jones and released as a digital download single on the 3rd of December 2007. As a download-only single, it was therefore unable to chart on the UK singles chart.
A place you've never been. You can lean on me, have a drink on me, leave your mark all over me. Paint the outside till it smiles. You can eat off me, rest your head on me, press yourself on top of me. Kick the back until it's quiet. All in all, I'm just furniture. Just another piece taking you one step further from the perfect living room set. All in all, I'm just furniture. And these four walls that hold me keep me safe under sand and bear within its grip.
On the 28th of April 2008, the single Chasing the Light was released as the lead single from Amy's upcoming second album. The song was co-written with Luis Biancaniello and Sam Waters, but would only chart at number 277. My Paper Men was initially released as a download-only album in May 2008, 1 week after Chasing the Light. Nearly a year later, on the 2nd of March 2009, the album was released physically alongside the next single.
Never had a man who can, always had to do it for myself. Never had a master plan that involved anybody else who needs monogamy. When there's no doubt and you don't ask who needs compromise. When there's no fear that it won't go. They don't cut it. Not a nice boys, Christians.
Nice Boys was literally, I'd finished the album and we were all told that we didn't have enough obvious singles on there. We needed an obvious single, so I was a bit about it, to be honest, and so I was just like, oh, man, you want a single? Give me, you know, I just wrote about Nice Boys, but it was last, and that was it, really.
Nice boys, they don't last. Nice boys, they don't last. Nice boys, they don't last.
When I first got signed, I was 14, and I'm 23 in a month's time. So I mean, I feel like, well, basically most of my life I've been doing it, my teenage to adult life, and I think before it seemed like, you know, singles were massive. I actually, in fact, I've got like a cassette of one of my singles that just says how old that is. But yeah, you know, so and singles were big. You know, they poured money into singles. And it was, you know, really pushed it. It was a lot harder. It was a lot harder to get into. I don't know, but I think I prefer how it is now. But I think I can see why big companies are struggling, because they're having to completely change the way that they work.
Guess it's right what they say. Nice boys finish last.
Nice Boys peaked at number 165, with the album failing to chart. It was then made public in April 2009 that Amy was dropped by her record label, with her then choosing to leave her management shortly after.
Nice boys, they don't last. Nice boys, they don't last. Nice boys, they don't last. They don't last. Never had a man who can. It's not about what's safe and good for you. Sitting there with threats of love, held up by heart and head and news. Good boys, they don't cut it. Not the nice boys, Christian smiles, just can't reach it. Guess it's right what they say. Nice boys finish last.
Sleepwalker particularly, which I'm going to play, is it's about being lost in the city and in amongst all the kind of madness, both around me and inside me. And it was written during the London riots, and I was on a lot of prescription medication, and I wore pajamas day and night, both inside and outside of the house, and I felt like I was sleepwalking through life. But in amongst it, it's also, there's a sense of salvation, finding some form of salvation in amongst that chaos with somebody, and it being okay to be lost with somebody. Although a lot of the topics are quite dark, they're also quite light as well, you know, because there's the darkness and the light, and also there's the sense of salvation and of hope, and of also that I may have been through that particularly difficult period of my life, but that, you know, that there's hope and that you come out of it, and that there's strength in that and new gained knowledge from it. I'm playing on the Hard Rock Rising stage on Sunday afternoon, and I'm really looking forward to playing. And I'm also going to go and see Hatcham Social play on the Saturday. Toby Kidd and Finn Kidd from Hatcham are both singing and playing drums in my band, so that's going to be good. A lot of the album is talking about being between two great loves, and that transition from letting go of one and moving into the future with another. I just want as many people to hear it as possible, because I think it's the best stuff I've ever written, and I'm really proud of it, and I think it captures something really real and really genuine.
It got to about, was it 2018, 2019, and I realized that I basically had an album that was documenting, it was almost like a book, like an autobiography of 10 years of my life. So my boyfriend, partner, was also the guy I was writing with for a lot of it, and he was producing. So I would be too ill to do anything, and he would sort of almost pick me up and put me on the piano, because he knew that that was the place that I could get my peace,
yes,
and get things out of myself. And we worked together through thick and thin, and we realized that we had this album. So I ordered it in order of succession. I should say that by the end, you know, the last song on the album is called Happiest Girl in the Universe, and it's a happy end to the story, yes, because I became well and happy and came through an extremely dark period of my life, but that you can, and that you learn so much from it, and that there is so much light that comes at the end of that tunnel.
These little drops of honesty, too quickly tumbling out. And in the dark you think of me.
In 2015, Amy announced that she had been working on a new album with Toby Kidd from indie pop band Hatcham Social. The eventual record, titled Happiest Girl in the Universe, was ultimately released in October 2019. Described as an album of two narratives, one dealing with battles of mental health and the other the transition between the two great loves of her life, the album would struggle to find its audience and fail to chart.
I don't know why.
In 2020, Amy would issue the track The Water from the Happiest Girl in the Universe album as a reimagined version with Ghost Culture. Amy confirmed recently that a fourth, as yet untitled album is completed, with plans to start releasing new material very soon. I think Amy's debut record is a fantastic pop album that deserved more love than it received at the time, and was home to many great tracks. Overall, Amy is incredibly talented and incredibly underrated. I'm excited to hear new material from her, and I hope you are too. Thanks for watching.
You wash